Phil Cornell from the Little Farm Company, and I'm here today with
Jeff from Henstock Technologies. We're the manufacturer of these demon heaters that you can see here, manufactured in Australia, in Lobethal, in South Australia.
It's a great story, and we're here to show you how to put one of these together, show you how simple it is, and then also how to light and set it. Okay, Jeff, thanks for bringing it along.
No worries, Phil.
Start by opening her up.
So to start with, we've got to open her up, get out the trusty pocket knife, which every boy has. Simple as that. So now you'll notice that we had it standing up this way because it's a good idea to lay it down with the writing up.
Yep.
Because that's the best way to get it out the box.
And this is the box that you transport them in when people buy them?
Yep, they always come transported, packed down like this. So if I move it this way,
I'll finish this way.
yeah.
So how many of these have you sold over the years, Jeff?
Oh, I wouldn't know. We do sort of 500 or more a year, so it just depends on the season and how many people want them. And
how old is the design?
Well, about the 1950s they started making these in Australia, so it's been going for a long time.
So you've made them all then, basically?
Well, most of them, yeah. That's why
You've just weathered well.
Weathered well, that's right, yeah.
Excellent. All right, well look, where do we
So,
start?
the first thing to do is make sure all the parts are in the box. So,
Isn't that your job?
yeah, I'll do that. They should be in there, but you know what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Something might be missing, so if we pull them all out.
Sorry Jeff, what is this finish?
That's an enamel finish, so it's like a glass enamel, like you'd have on your wood heater flue, and that's just to stop it corroding and rusting and that sort of thing.
That's beautiful, really nice.
Yep. So you've got your instructions, and look at that. Somehow we've got two lots here, so you won't lose them. That's a list to say someone's checked everything's in there.
Beautiful.
Now we can unwrap these as we go, so we know that everything's there.
And can you just describe the bits as we do it?
Okay, yep, I can do that. This one's what they call the downdraft cone, so this one helps it run more efficiently, and we'll put that in as we go.
Yep.
We'll just put the paper over there for now. This one here is the economy damper. So this one's so that you can, when you're burning the heater, you can put this on the flue, and we'll show you where that goes later to make it run more efficiently. We've got our starter mop here.
Yep.
Now we actually don't use a starter mop, but you know, all the old guys that have bought them always want their starter
I'm sure
mop.
it'll come in handy somewhere.
Yep. This is the cast iron elbow.
Perfect.
And we'll show you where that gets installed. One thing to notice with this is all of this is Australian made.
Yeah, that's a great
Whole thing made in Australia. These are our diffusion hood arms. And last of all, we have the bag of nuts and bolts and a diffusion hood.
Give me that paper, I'll get rid of that.
We can get rid of that. We will need that to light it though, so don't throw it too far away.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So in this model which you've got here, you actually have a tray and a stand. So you have to turn the stand up the other way because that's how it goes. Now you can buy just the heater on its own, but we recommend at least the stand because that raises it up off the floor edge. You can see there's a gap here, stops it corroding and rusting and makes it a little bit more stable.
And when you're not using it, you can put this underneath your Triumph.
If you like, yeah. If you've got one of those English cars. Yeah, my Hudson doesn't need that. Okay, so the first thing you've got to do is put your lid on.
Yep.
And we need the little bolts to hold that down.
Okay, they're in here.
So they should be in there. That's it. So if we get what's called the hold down clamp and a little wing nut.
Okay, so these just go up inside the body?
If they go up inside there, and making sure you swing them the right way. If you swing them the wrong way, the little tab goes towards the, and it won't fit in. So it has to be the correct way so that fits in.
And these just need to come off for cleaning, I guess.
Yeah, you take it apart when you're cleaning and that sort of thing.
Yep.
You shouldn't have to screw it together too tight.
And you obviously you don't need to put any sealant or anything like that?
Look, we don't usually put sealant. Some people like to seal it,
Yeah.
but the first few times that you light it and burn it, it soots up the gaps and then it's fine.
Yeah.
The sealant will mean that it can be turned off without any smoke at all, you know, straight away.
Yeah.
But we don't normally worry about that because then it's easy to pull apart and clean. Yeah. Simple. So there we go. So that just goes together. Just make sure they're not too tight, but tight enough to hold it firm.
And this butterfly, well, before we put the stack on, that's just showing the opening and running mode.
Yeah. So when it's running, you have to have that open like that.
Yep.
And that lets the air come through and go through the flue.
Yeah.
Then when you want to shut it down, you just put your foot on here because it'll be hot.
Yeah.
And it's like that, and it's shut.
Straight off.
Straight off. Yep.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then just talk about the little.
So this is the regulator cap, we call it.
Yep.
As you can see, there's the 3 holes when the handle's around there, and that's letting all the air through, and then it will be burning really hot.
Yep.
As you close it down, you can even just close it down. I normally, when I'm using it, close it right down like that.
Yep.
And you just got a little bit of each hole open.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to bring it right around and just have it like that.
Okay.
And then when you're going to turn it off, you have to put that underneath there.
Yeah.
That holds that shut.
Yeah.
And leave it like that for 10 minutes before you
Okay. Yeah.
push the pedal. So you want it to be cool down. If it's too hot, it won't shut off properly.
Beautiful. Okay.
Alright, so if we open that up now, this is where we get the downdraft cone.
Yep.
As you can see, the downdraft cone's got a slot down each side.
Yep.
When you put that in, it's a good idea if it goes in with the slot sideways, not straight towards the middle.
Okay.
That'll help it run more efficiently because that going sideways means the air goes out and around before it comes up.
Beautiful.
So we do that, and that makes sense, and then we can shut that, and you're set to go.
Perfect.
Sometimes over time, with the heat and that, you might have to give this a little bit of a bend up here, just to make sure that holds the lid down. Not too tight, but just tight enough just to keep it down firm. See, that's a little bit loose there now, so where it was set when it originally came out the box was probably right, about like that.
Beautiful.
And we set them. Then you've got your little pipe here. It says here, descend to the lid.
Yep.
So I think that's fairly obvious.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So we just put that on there like that, and that just pushes in, and if you just push that down in there, so it's like to there, that's about it. Beautiful.
Okay.
Now inside your flues, you've got a lower stack conical, and that you'll notice it's got the little slots to go over the bars. One thing to watch when you're putting it together on this side where the spring is, there's a little tab, and you want that little tab inside, so this holds it in against the body, and you just push that down. That's it.
Looking good.
Pretty simple. Now you can put this straight on if you wanted, but I normally don't put it straight on because it's important for us to make sure that as we're doing that, we put the elbow in the right spot, because you've got a hole there and you have to line your elbow up as well. So if you put it on first and it's slightly misaligned, that can be a problem.
No problem.
Now, I'll put it up here just so we can see what we have to do.
Can we turn it around a bit?
Well, we could turn it around, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yep. When you put the elbow in, one of the big mistakes people make is they put it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
They go in like this and put it in this way. Yeah. You try to get it to line up and it won't line up. Because that actually shouldn't be put in that way. It's got to come from the inside of the flue out.
Right.
So you'll notice it's got a nice radius here.
Yes.
And that's because that matches the inside profile of the flue. So when you put it in, it's got to match that. And this is the expanded end. You see how it's a little bit bigger there than there?
Yeah.
That is because that goes over there. Okay?
Excellent.
So we have to get that in there and feed it out,
Yeah.
and then do the 3 little screws up just to hold it together. So what I'll do actually is I'll put this in, which I normally do. If we can.
It's worth noting here, there's 5 of these small screws. The 2 small ones are going to be for the diffuser, and the 3 longer ones are for the flue.
Yeah.
I find it a bit annoying if you do it the other way around.
Yeah, you will. So I put that through like that. As you can see, notice that when you go through there, if you put it through like that, you can't actually turn it around, see?
Yeah, okay.
That's the track. What you actually have to do, yeah, so we put it up the other way.
Yep.
That's got to go through that way, so it's coming up, okay?
Maybe just hold that up and show people just how that looks.
So that looks like that, and that's at the bottom end of the flue with the label at the top.
Yeah, and you can see that radius is neatly matching the internal radius of the stack.
Alright. Now we can put it on there now
Yeah.
and then put the screws in.
Okay.
Or if you drop your screws, you lost them. So
Yeah.
I would normally just put it down on the frame and put that together here. So shall we turn it around a bit? Oops, sorry. Step out here. Can you see that feel? That's all good. It's always good if you've got an extra set of hands.
Got to put your beard out for this bit.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? And what you want to make sure with this is you don't do those screws up too tight.
Yeah.
Because if they go up too tight, they chip the enamel. So all they've got to do is just hold that.
Pinch it really, yeah.
Yeah, they've just got to hold it in place. Can't get your arms, I'll let you do it. You look like you've done this before.
Well,
it must be pretty easy.
They're pretty straightforward.
Yeah. This one.
So the trick is not to over tighten it.
Yeah, don't over tighten them, just nip them up. They shouldn't have too much pressure. Now I haven't put the nut on that one, there's your nut.
Would this be a good time while I'm doing this to talk about the fuels that you're burning?
Yeah, well we could do that.
Yeah.
We recommend heating oil or home kerosene,
Yeah.
only because they're the fuels that are made for burning in heaters.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people burn all sorts of other things in them, but we don't recommend that because there can be safety issues. So if you've got water in a fuel, for instance, that can make it quite dangerous and explosive. If something, you know, some people burn diesel, they burn really hot on diesel, and that wrecks the enamel quickly, and then they don't last as long.
Okay.
Some people put waste oil in them, and then you'll have smoke issues and all sorts of things, and water, like I've said, is a real problem. So we recommend heating oil or home kerosene. Always should be clean, and make sure it's home kerosene, not your power clean kerosene.
Okay,
Your power clean's more flammable, you've got issues lighting it and that sort of thing.
So you don't need really combustible materials, so you just want
No, like people think Kero, hey, you're lighting Kero, it's going to burst into flame. It doesn't. It actually needs the design of the heater to make it burn.
Awesome. Okay, that was simple.
Alright. So now I can line both of these up as I put it together and just check it all goes together and just gently push it down.
Perfect.
And now the glue's straight and we look good and that's all lined up.
Yes, let me just show that. That's just perfectly in line.
Yep. And you'll notice we've got our label on here which tells you that you always recommend a heating oil or kerosene. So it's the home kerosene you're asking for, or heating oil or kerosene, some people call it.
So the last bit we've got put together is just this diffuser.
That's it. Yep. So what I normally do with these, just because I find it easier, is poke them in, one in each side, with them poking out like that. And then it's easy enough just to grab this, and if you've got one of those screws there, I just poke a screw through here, put a nut on, and you know, really, if you didn't do it up tight, it wouldn't matter. If you want to do it up tight, well, you can, and then it won't blow off. But I find it easy to put that on with them in there. Now, as always, when you're putting something like this together, it's a good idea to wear gloves, just to make sure if there's a sharp edge or something you don't cut yourself. But yeah, as you can see, we've done it quite safely without. But we just recommend using gloves is a good idea. And that's all I do. I don't screw them up. So then you've got your economy damper goes on there. You know, sometimes we'll burn it like that. Depends on the fuel. The fuel can be a little bit of variation, so you might put it in the middle or off to a side, or in our workshop we actually put another piece of sheet metal on here sometimes, and then it lasts a lot longer when it's burning the fuel. But you've got to make sure it keeps burning properly with the two-stage burn happening. And then you need your starter mop, which you keep for starting it, which we don't use, and I'll show you that later. And you'll notice in here we've got, you don't need that anymore, that's just to say everything was there. There's a warning label here. Basically it just says on the warning label that it needs to be used somewhere where there's ventilation. So you know, here you've got, if everyone's sitting around here, they'll keep warm, and there's plenty of ventilation.
There's no closed area.
Yeah, you don't want it closed right up. You don't want to burn it in a closed area.
Sheds with ventilation in the roof.
Yeah, that's fine. Or if you just leave your door open a bit, and it depends on the weather. You don't want wind blowing through here because it burns more fuel if the wind blows through. So yeah, so that's how it goes together.
Beautiful.
All the best.
Good work. Well done.
No worries.
Thank you.